Look, there's no danger at all.
Famous last words, Claude. Famous last words. What's going on, guys? Callie is back, and it is finally time to review Star Ocean: The Second Story R. Now, it took me a little time to get this review out because I really wanted to play this game. I really wanted to dive in and dig deep and make sure I give you guys a honest and true review. So without further ado, let's jump right into my Star Ocean Second Story R review. There's a lot to say, so let's jump right into it. So we are greeted by this awesome new logo that the Star Ocean 2 series has now. This is the Second Story R remake logo, and then we are thrusted into whether we would like to start Claude or Raina's side, which is so awesome because this adds to so much of the replayability of this game. But for this review, we're going with Claude's side. And since we chose Claude, we actually do get to start off in space on their spaceship called the Countess that he shares with his father, Ronix Kinney. Now, the game's cutscenes and the visuals here are really awesome because you can tell that everything has been redone, refreshed, and renewed for this remake. So everything is feeling somewhat like a modern but nostalgic trip down memory lane. And I have to say, there were some concerns pre-release before this game came out that some people thought the sprites needed to be updated and that they weren't going to mesh with the 3D backgrounds. And I have to say, this game visually is absolutely stunning. I mean, I found myself stopping at certain points just to appreciate how much I love these styles of graphics. To me, Jim Drops did an excellent job of blending the two different styles into one cohesive new coat of paint. I love the way that this game looks, and I'll even go on record to say it's one of my favorite 2.5D styles that I have played in a JRPG. Yes, I love the way that this game looks that much. There are some areas that are just absolutely beautiful that you have to just see for yourself in person and play when you actually get your hands on this game. So I had to get the graphics out the way because this game looks absolutely beautiful to me. So let's jump right into the battle system. And guys, the battle system is buttery, silky smooth. It is just as fun and awesome as it was when I first played that demo a couple months ago. I mean, the revamp that they have done to this battle system has made it stand toe-to-toe with its fellow JRPG competitors. It is so responsive, it is so smooth, and it is so satisfying and engaging. One thing that I really like is the new feature that they added is the assault formation, in which, as you can see in the bottom left corner, you can see your allies who are not currently in battle can be used as support, and they come in and do a support move, or you can use protagonists from previous Star Oceans such as Fate, Leticia, and Raymond, Edge, and it just gives a nice modernness to this game, and it's a nice callback and cameo for the fans of Star Ocean. Another thing that I really like about the battles in this game is that you can do something called a chain battle, where you gather multiple enemies and fight them back to back to back in one transition screen. The only other game that I knew that really did this was Tales of Vesperia, where you could gather multiple enemies on the world map and then fight them all together for bigger hordes and bigger mobs. I absolutely love how Star Ocean: The Second Story R takes this and does its own spin of it, and you get extra bonuses and benefits, and sometimes it's worth it to actually chain the enemies together to get bigger payouts, bigger bonuses, and to get better items. And Jim Drops even managed to make every single character fun to play as. I couldn't believe that when I would pick a character like Welch, or a character like Bowman, or a character like Chisato, how fun they all felt to play. And I think it just speaks volumes at how fun this new revamped battle system actually is. Most characters have the 3 standard hits, followed by you can do 1 art, and when you get a little further in the game, you can actually start to chain your battle skills in order to set different combos to your different trigger buttons. All of these new advancements in the battle system ultimately makes a truly satisfying and rewarding battle systems. I look forward to battles when I'm playing Star Ocean: The Second Story R. I don't run from battles. I don't get tired of encounters. I look forward to jumping right back into this amazing battle system because it was so fleshed out and it was so well designed that Jim Drops has really managed to make a new standard for Star Ocean battle systems. And I pray and hope that they continue to use these sort of formats and innovation in future and further Star Ocean games. Jim Drops absolutely needs to be involved on the battle process. Now, one slight con that I do have about battle and everything in general is sometimes the difficulty spikes are random and they're very unforgiving. Sometimes you don't quite know what went wrong, or if you're under leveled, or if you're fighting an opponent you're not supposed to be fighting, because the difficulty spikes can be random and they can be pretty harsh. So sometimes that got slightly annoying, as from one area to the next you could be completely overpowered, to the next area you could be completely under leveled. And to add to that, sometimes leveling up felt a little too fast. Sometimes I would just do one battle and I would grow like 5 or 6 levels, even though this is the exact area that I'm supposed to be in the game, and I've taken no detours, didn't do anything. So sometimes the leveling was a little sporadic, but it didn't bother me too bad. Next, I want to talk about the quality of life features in this game. I cannot tell you how much I love that when I get an item, the game automatically asks me if I want to equip it or not on my character. This saves so much time and it makes the game feel like such an optimized experience. I love this feature. However small it may be to some folks, it was huge for me, because sometimes I did not feel like going into my equipment and equipping things and things like that. However, the game would immediately ask me if it deemed a equipment or item stronger than the one I have on now. It would ask me if I wanted to auto equip it, and I love these quality of life features. There's also other quality of life features like fast travel, looking at your PAs, looking at what are limited quests and time quests. All of these new optimization options really help the game just feel modern, and it really helps feel in tune with the player. You don't have to really do a lot of stressing or a lot of concerning over certain events, because the game does a great job of just making everything feel tight, neat, and optimized. So that is a huge plus for me in this game, at how organized and optimized everything feels. Gem drops, amazing job on the quality of life features. You really brought this game up to stand up with modern titles. From the way that the menus are done, to the fact that you can view every single character portrait from across generations of Star Ocean 2, you can just see the level of quality and detail that was placed into every ounce of this remake. And I, for one, appreciate every little single bit. You can even see the relationship status between you and your characters, and how the PAs will affect you and your character's relationship going forward, ultimately deciding which ending that you get. And moving over to some of these menus and looking into some of them, I love how customized and how varied you can actually make your characters and your playthrough for your Star Ocean Second Story are. Each characters have a plethora amount of different skills, ability, and specialty skills that you can edit and create your character the way that you would have them be, and fit your play style of what you're looking for that character to be. And I can't tell you how much I love this, because everyone likes to play their JRPGs a certain way, and it's fun to see which characters that you can make do what. And I love that Star Ocean 2, the Second Story R, gives you a chance to really build the character that you want the way that you want it for that specific character. So to me, I love these new skills that Gem Drops have added. I love these new options and things that they've added. This all adds up to just a tight-knit quality experience. I keep saying that, but I'm telling you guys, once you get your hands on it, you're gonna love it just as much as well. Now, on the flip side, I can see sometimes this could be probably overwhelming. When I was getting introduced to some of the new mechanics and the new things in the option system, sometimes I felt like I'll just deal with it later, because it was so much. So one of the things that we do have to be careful of is you don't want to get overwhelmed by all of these new abilities and these new skills. So I can see for a JRPG newcomer how this could actually be a little overwhelming instead of a positive. But for me, I absolutely loved it, because it gave me free realm on my characters, and I absolutely love that in a JRPG. Now, to touch on a couple miscellaneous things, I really did enjoy the new fishing mechanic that they added in, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty simple. You just get the exclamation points and you press the button until the fish comes up. Pretty simple, but I like that they were willing to add it to a game that was already set in stone. So once again, I just love how much innovation and detail was put into this game to bring it up to current standards. So I just wanted to point that out on the fishing. And with the fishing, you can earn rewards and turn them into the fishing guide, and he'll give you new items and benefits and things like that. One of my final cons for the game would be potentially missing characters and the missable PAs, because sometimes there's so much happening in the game at once. It is hard to hit all of the private action marks and all of the cutscenes that are missable. So sometimes the missable characters and the missable cutscenes can get you. So make sure you have multiple save files at different intervals of your playthrough. And when you get a little bit further in the game, you unlock something called a synard, and I just absolutely love the traversing that you are able to do with this mechanism, because it gives me the old classic JRPG world map type of feelings. Only the games in the 2000s were really giving you these world map and these abilities to fly around. It gives me Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 vibes. Oh, I just loved flying around with this thing, and again, it just felt so awesome and felt so fresh, and I cannot say enough good things about the world map in this game.
Why does this little girl have possession of the quadratic key?
I, for one, actually really like the voice acting in this game. I love the dialogue between the characters. I really like how the characters interact with each other, and that's another big benefit to this game for me, is how organic the cast and the party feels. Everybody has these private actions that they can come to and get to know each other a bit more, and this cast just feels really refreshing and organic to me. So that's a big feather in the cap that Star Ocean 2 has, because I really enjoy the dialogue and interaction between its main characters. On the villains in the story point, I think the 10 Wise Men are one of the coolest concepts of villains in a JRPG. I actually really like that there's this hierarchy and that there's these multitude of this different group of this organization that wants to do blank and blank to the world. I don't want to tell you because it's a spoiler. However, I really did enjoy the villains and our opposition during this journey of Star Ocean 2. They all look so different and so varied, and it's just an awesome showdown that you're able to have with these guys. All in all, guys, I can say officially Star Ocean 2 The Second Story R is my favorite JRPG of 2023. I haven't had this much fun playing a JRPG in a very, very long time. And of course, how amazing is it that I'm saying this about a Star Ocean game in 2023. I can't tell you guys how proud I am of Gem Drops. To me, this is the new standard of JRPG remakes. This is excellent. It's one of my favorite games I've ever played, and I'm just so happy that it is back, and it is back in such a big way. Now the Star Ocean name can somewhat be redeemed going forward in the future, and I pray that Gem Drops is involved with all Star Ocean related things from now on. I mean, this game is packed full of content, multiple playthroughs, multiple characters to recruit, multiple PAs, multiple ways to build your characters. Guys, this game is just packed full of content, and if that is what you're looking for, if you're looking for a meaty, streamlined, but good and fun JRPG with an amazing battle system and a good story, you need to check out Star Ocean The Second Story R. There's not enough good things that I can keep saying about this game. So I'm just going to go ahead and let Claude give you guys my score and the Cali Q review for Star Ocean 2 The Second Story R.
Well, I'd say that's worth 10 out of 10.